Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's session on English phonetics. Well, uh, not only we will discuss English phonetics, we will also discuss some of the things which come under it, which is called as a consonants, vowels, stress, and intonations. Well, I'm Shubhabrata Nayak, and this session is specially curated for those of the undergrad students of different university where uh, they do have the English phonetics course in their syllabus. So let's begin this. If you talk about that phonetics, understanding phonetics is not just about improving pronunciation, but it's also about enhancing communication skills, which is essential in both, you can say that academic skills, which is essential, you can say that um, professional life also. So if you talk about that, improving pronunciation is not only required understanding phonetics, but also about enhancing communication skills in both academic and professional life. Let's discuss into some fascinating aspects of phonetics and discuss some questions that are frequently asked in exams. Um, so you can get your notebooks and let's get started. The first thing, when we go for the introduction to phonetics, we need to understand what phonetics is. If I talk about that, phonetics is the study of what? Speech sounds, right? Speech sounds. How they are produced? They are produced and transmitted and received. If we think of it, we we need to go to the means the unique sounds English has. You can say that English has 44 sounds, right? Unique sounds, and out of this, you can say 24 consonant sounds, 24 consonant sounds, and 20 vowel sounds. The vowels are further, you can say that divided into 12 monothones, right? Monothones means, if you talk about monothones, I can say that monothones are generally known as a pure vowels, right? And you can talk about eight diphthongs, right? Diphthongs. So which are nothing but called as a gliding vowels. Gliding vowels. So is not it fascinating? Okay. So on the basis of that, means not only this, all those 44 sounds, we will also discuss some introductory questions. Right. I'll start with a simple but important questions which you need to focus. Mm, The first thing is called as what is the primary region for first language influence on pronunciation when learning a new language? If you think of it, when we learn a second language, our first language shapes how we hear and produce sounds. For example, if you talk about the language called Hindi, so there is no equivalent sound for the English, like z as in measure. This often leads to mispronunciation. The habits formed by uh, generally students' first language create what is called MTI, isn't it? So, fine, like such kind of questions, we will come to know what is, you can say that the primary region for first language influence and what is a dialect, what had led to the development of hybrid dialects in modern times, how does climate affect accents in core countries, what is the effect of a geographical influence on language, or you say that many more, right? Let's go one by one and try to discuss those of the questions. So, like I told you, the first question which I started with is called as what is the primary reason for first language influence on pronunciation when learning a new language? Now, if I talk about this first question, what is the primary reason for language influence on pronunciation when learning a new language? We can say the new language is filtered through the pronunciation system of the first language, isn't it? So, what is that? What is the primary region for primary means called as a main region for first language influence on pronunciation when learning a new language? We can say the new language is filtered through the pronunciation system of the first language, isn't it? So, that could be the answer. The second one is called as what is a dialect. So we can say that a dialect is a variation of the same language spoken in different ways in various parts of the same country. You can say that. Then question number three, what has led to the development of hybrid dialects in modern times? So we can say that the intermingling of different classes and ranks has led to the development of hybrid dialects. So, question number four, how does climate affect accents in cold countries? In cold countries, people speak with tight lips to avoid the effects of extremely cold weather, right? So, therefore, we can say that climate affect accents. Now, question number five, what is the effect of geographical influence on language? We can say that it causes languages and accents to evolve with societal, cultural, and demographic changes, isn't it? Okay. Coming to the next set of question. Now, this next set of question asks you that it's a 2 mark question. So where we need to describe a little more. Now, the first question stated here or asked, explain how first language influence shapes the accent of a second language learner. Well, if we talk about first language influence that shapes um, the accent of a second language learner, because you can say the new language is processed through the pronunciation system of the first language, and it causes the sounds to be influenced by the native language, isn't it? That would be the appropriate way to describe your answer, and you will get 2 marks for this. Question number two, discuss the role of socioeconomic influence in shaping language and accents. Now, socioeconomic influence shapes language and accents by, you can say creating unique pronunciation systems within groups or you can say ranks due to closer interaction. Modern intermingling among classes has further created nothing but called as a hybrid dialects. Hybrid dialects. Hybrid dialects. Okay. Now, question number three. How has education influenced the development of English usage globally? We can say that what education has influenced English usage uh, through laws, you can say, through laws that mandating English as the medium of instruction, student exchange programs, and the use of English in higher education that leads to its evolution and development. Okay, coming to the question number four, what impact does geographical travel have on the way foreign languages are spoken? Now, geographical travel has brought influences of native languages into the pronunciation of foreign languages that leads to, you can say that, regional variation, regional, regional variations regional variations in what? In accents and dialects over time. Dialects over time, isn't it? So that would be the appropriate one. Question number 5. How does climate theory explain differences in accent between cold and tropical regions? Now, climate theory suggests what? Suggests that people in cold regions speak with the tight lips to protect against the cold, resulting in unique accents with or distant accents, while those in tropical regions have a more open phonetic system. Okay, so fine. We will have a kind of a discussion on accent training, consequences, and importance. That also we need to discuss. Um, look into it. Yeah, accent training, consequences, and importance. Now, if you talk about that accent training, consequences, and importance, what do you mean by that? Now, consequences of your accent and pronunciation errors. And here you would find out mm, somehow called as four different situations. The first situation stated here, um, when we have a kind of a error, confusion between P and B, and B sounds. So the consequence is what? Uh, if you have a kind of a means a confusion between p and b, like somebody is stating pat, but you hear bat. So in that case, what happened means that may be over the phone, or that may be a kind of a conversation between two people. So over the call, you will find out you take a lot of time to discuss or understand the query of your customer. So that's why it is called as increased call handling time. Second, it's called as a customer frustration due to difficulty in understanding the agent, isn't it? That's our first scenario. Second scenario, it's called as a mispronunciation of the as de, the. So the consequence is again called as a customer confusion about the agent's request and failure to communicate effectively. The third scenario, when you would find out the confusion, mispronunciation, and incorrect stress on the word you, right? So the consequence is miscommunication of intent, customer confusion, and potential dissatisfaction, isn't it? Then, similar to that, you have a, a means another scenario. In another scenario, what do we find out? We find out means lack of understanding of the idiom, where kicked to the bucket, in which we understand that if you use the kind of idioms and phrases that the other person unable to understand, that also leads to um, you know um, inappropriate response that will definitely shock the customer. So, and negative impact on the agent customer interaction. So, this is what you find out in your book, in the communicative English. So, I have just given some of the scenarios here. Okay, coming to the next one. Okay, uh, so that is the reason you can say that why action training is necessary, right? So, uh, and these are the reasons why we need action training. The first one, which is stated clarity and communication. So, if you have a good pronunciation, then you would have a good understanding between the two people. So we can say that clarity in communication reduces pronunciation errors and make sure customers can easily understand what the agents want to convey. Second, efficient call handling. You can say that you also do not spend much time on one single call. Mm. So efficient call handling means minimizes misunderstanding leading to quicker resolution times. Third, improved customer experience. You're able to understand what the customer wants to convey, creates a positive impression on customer by using comprehensible and polite language. Fourth one is cultural sensitivity, increases awareness of idioms, phrases, and pronunciation terms specific to the customer's region or language. Professionalism is a fifth one that enhances the agent's ability to deliver clear, effective, and professional communication, critical for maintaining the organization's reputation. So, debriefing process, when we talk about each scenario, right, uh, what we can find out that elicits students' insights into the errors and consequence. So students understand like what kind of error they generally do. Even when we talk about some of the questions and their answer using examples, and that help means an individual with the given consequences. And third is called as a highlight the importance of identifying and correcting pronunciation and stress errors. So what we understand from this particular discussion is called as a miscommunication held due to pronunciation errors, and that can harm means mm, between two people's interaction. So second is called as action training is essential to improve clarity, efficiency, and customer satisfaction. And third one, awareness of language and cultural differences is vital in any of the, not only international, you also find out national, international business context, isn't it? Okay. Um, Now, let's move to some more questions to discuss. Mm, yeah. Now look into it, some one mark questions which have been given here. Um, in this questions, the question asked here, what is the primary benefit of training and developing accent and language? We can say that means the primary benefit of training and developing accent and language is called as um, enriching customer experience by greater understanding skills or comprehension skills. So that could be the primary benefit of training and developing accent and language. Second, what does MTI stands for? So obviously, you know that which we discuss. It is known as a mother tongue influence. Mother tongue influence, right? So that MTI stands for. The third one, what is the end objective of accent improvisation? When we talk about the end object of accent improvisation, it's called as a positive change, positive change, positive change, and you can say improvement, positive change and improvement, right? Now, question number four, which syllable is incorrectly stressed in the pronunciation of technology as techno, technology, right? So you can say that the third syllable, right? Third syllable, we can say technology, right? So the fifth one, what kind of a feedback is essential for awareness of individual communication style? Um, you can say that the feedback which we are talking about is essential for awareness of individual communication style. It's called as articulation. Articulation. You can also say pronunciation. Pronunciation. You can also say syllable. Syllable. Word. Sentence. Sentence. Stress. And we can say intonation. Intonation. Right. Okay. Uh, so like in the question which I um, stated, which syllable is incorrectly stressed in the pronunciation of technology? Um, here we find out that technology, right? But the third syllable, which we find out here, it should be technology, right? Okay. Let's come to the next one. Some 2 marks questions, which we also find out here. What is that? It is stated. Um, list any two advantages of developing accent and language skills. List any two advantages. We can say that um, there are two advantages of developing accent and language skills. We can say many advantages of developing accent and language skills, but out of that, you would say enhancing knowledge of knowledge of you can say that current vocabulary and pronunciation, current vocabulary and pronunciation. Second is called as a, we can say, projects a professional image. Projects a professional image as the language is globally understood, isn't it? So that's what. Now, look into the second question, so where it is stated, explain the importance of understanding the English phonetic system in accent, right? Or we can say that what? Uh, Accent trend. So, what are the importance of understanding the English phonetic system in accent training? Like we can say, it helps brings awareness of the correct manner and place of articulation for each sound, right? So what we can say, manner and place of articulation. So place of manner and place of articulation for each sound. Second is called as it improves comprehension and communication skills. Fine. Now, third is called as what are the primary areas of concern for identifying improvement in communication system or communication style? So, what are the primary areas, right? What are the primary areas of concern for identifying im- improvement in communication style? Now, if you talk about that interchanging sounds, in which we can say, look into it, shame adds same, right? So interchanging sounds. Second is called as uh, MTI affecting speech. So MTI, like you can say this as a this. Then third one is called as a incorrect stress pattern, like we discussed, which is called as a technology, technology. So incorrect stress patterns. Mm, then will also fourth one you can say inappropriate intonation styles like sing song or flat intonation. Sing song or flat intonation. Flat intonation, isn't it? So what we can find out here, the primary areas of concern for identifying improvement in communication style is called as interchanging sounds, MTI sound effects or affecting speech, and then after incorrecting stress pattern and inappropriate intonation styles. Fine. Now, coming to the question number 4, where it is stated, describe the process involved in improving syllabic stress and intonation. Now, when we talk about the process involved in improving syllabic stress and intonation, we can say understanding appropriate syllabic patterns and intonation styles in English. Second is called as building communication skills through enhanced comprehension and proper articulation, right? Then five, what is the role of evaluating improvement in accent training? The role of evaluating improvement in accent training. Obviously, we know that that's called as a test, test the student's improvement. And second one is called as a identifying nothing but the areas of weakness, weakness, and determine readiness for effective communication, isn't it? So those of the things are taken as the role of evaluating improvement in action trend. Fine. Coming to the some more questions. Yeah, these are 1 mark based questions. So we have also discussed some of the question earlier. What does IPA stand for in phonetics? When I said that IPA, we understood that called as a International Phonetic Alphabet. International Phonetic Alphabet. Right? IPA stand for in phonetics. Second, in which year was the IPA published? We can say 1888, right? Third, what kind of a language is Hindi in terms of phonetics? We can say phonetic language, phonetic language. And if I talk about what type of language is English in terms of phonetics, we can say non-phonetic language, non-phonetic, right? So five, what is the pronunciation difference between sultry and sugar for the letter S? So obviously, when we talk about sultry, which is known as S, and when we talk about sugar, so sugar is generally known as yeah, sure, right? Sure sound. So S and sure sound. Fine. Okay. Um, let's discuss some 2 marks question. Hmm. The question one, which is stated, differentiate between phonetic and non-phonetic languages with example. Now, we understood that Hindi is a phonetic, whereas English is non-phonetic language. So, if I talk about that phonetic languages, where you can say that words are pronounced exactly as they're written, like you can talk about Hindi, um, Arabic, Arabic, even Spanish also. You can take this 3 example. And if I talk about non-phonetic languages, we can say non-phonetic languages, then words are not pronounced exactly as they are written. Like you can say English and French, right? English and French. So this you can find out as the examples of two languages. One is called as a phonetic and non-phonetic languages. Second question, explain the difference of the IPA system in phonetics. So when we talk about the significance of the IPA system in phonetic, we can say the IPA provides a standardized one-to-one correlation between spelling and pronunciation, helping understand and teach pronunciation across different language effectively. Okay, so that's what you can find out. Third, why do the word pairs laugh and ghost have different pronunciation for the letter g sound or called as a means gh sound? Now, if you talk about that in laugh, right, what we can find out, it produces the sound or it is pronounced as, you can say, fur, right? Wait a minute. Per sound, right? Wherein, if you talk about ghost, we can say that what it produced the or it is pronounced as what you can say that g, right? This illustrates nothing but English non-phonetic nature, right? So that's why we say laugh, and the same letters when used at the beginning, it's called as a ghost. So question number 4, what is the difference in pronunciation of chair and chaos for the letter sh, right? When we say that chair, what we can find out? We can find out ch, right? Like we can say that t and sh, right? So uh, that is known as a ch sound, whereas the chaos, which is called as chaos, has the k sound, k sound, isn't it? So therefore, the difference in pronunciation. 5. How does the pronunciation of polka differ from talk for the letters LK? So polka has the, you can say that um, polka stands with the L, K sound, right? So whereas talk has nothing but called as a, mm, mm, yeah, talk. It's awk, right? Sound. So that is what the difference you can find out. Talk. Hope you understood this. Let's move to the some more questions. Yeah. So it's a 1 mark question. So where we find out what is the pronunciation of the letters ia in the word see, right? Now, when we say that ea in the word see, we generally find out what the kind of pronunciation of the letters is called as a I with the her sound. So in that case, long E sound. So the pronunciation of the letters C in the word EA. So what is the pronunciation of EA in the word idea? So obviously we talk about that yeah sound. So that is what. So in the question number 3, how is the letter S pronounced in sugar? Obviously, which we know that called as a sure. Then, which sound is interchanged in the mispronunciation of shame as sem? Which sound is interchanged? We can say that shame and sem, same as shem. So in that case, we can find out S, which is interchanged in the mispronunciation of shem as sem. In that case, we say S and she, sure, right? So what does MTI stand for phonetic training? We know that that's called as a mother tongue influence. Mother tongue influence, right? Okay. Now, hope you understood this all. Let's go to the some more questions. Mm. So give an example of inappropriate intonation. Give an example of what? Inappropriate intonation. Now, when we talk about inappropriate intonation, we have already discussed that called as a sing song, or you can say that flat intonation style, flat intonation style, isn't it? So what is the sound of uk in the word tuck, lk in the word tuck? We know that that's called as a uk sound, right? So what is the correct stress in the word technology? We can say that the second syllable, like you can say here the first tech, then no, technology, right? Second syllable. Uh, Question number 4. what type of system helps in understanding pronunciation better? Mm, What type of system helps in understanding pronunciation better? We can go with the IPA. So that called as the International Phonetic Alphabet. Now, what is the sound of G in laugh? It's called as a fur. Okay, fur sound. Okay, fur. Okay. Uh, then fine. Let's move to the some more question. Okay, this question is all about 2 marks question. So the question here asked, why is understanding syllabic stress and intonation important for communication, right? And why is understanding syllabic stress and intonation important for communication? Now, obviously, syllabic stress and intonation important for communication because uh, it enhances comprehension, understanding, and improves communication skills by helping speaker use appropriate stress and intonation patterns in English. Right. Second question: how do heave and haven differ in pronunciation despite having similar spelling? Well, he is pronounced as what actually we can say heave, heave, right? While heaven is produced as a what that you can say H E V, have, right? Heave, have, heaven, heave, and heaven, right? So that's what you would find out, uh, despite having similar spelling. So they have a different pronunciation. So, question number 3, explain the influence of MTI on pronunciation with an example. Like, if you talk about MTI, we know that a mother tongue influence that causes speakers to articulate sounds influenced by their native language. Um, if you take the example, like the example which I pointed, it's called as this, isn't it? This as this. So this is something called as due to influence of what? The instead of the, you use the, right? So in the native language. Therefore, we talk about the influence of MTI on pronunciation. So question number 4, what is the role of feedback in improving individual communication styles? So generally feedback from a teacher or a senior and self-assessment helps identify areas like you can say articulation, pronunciation, stress, intonation. So for creating nothing but a personal improvement plan. Okay, so fine. Let's come to the some more questions. These are again called as a 2 marks based question. So here it asks question, describe the importance of error correction in accent training. So describe the importance of error correction in accent training. Now, if you talk about error correction, that ensures that learners recognize their mistakes, right? And you can say practice appropriate pronunciation and achieve positive improvement in their communication skills. Fine. Question number 2, how do worm and stem differ in their pronunciation for the letters ORA? Like, um, if you say that worm, WRM, so that has nothing but, um, yeah, om, so om sound, while stem has indicating as a what? Stem. Stem has storm, oh, right? So that is the difference you would find out. Worm, worm, and this one is called as a sturm. Worm and sturm, right? So that kind of changes in the letters. Now, coming to the question number three, why is English considered a non-phonetic language? Mm, English is considered a non-phonetic language because in English, words are not pronounced as they are written, and there is no direct correlation between spelling, and pronunciation, spelling and pronunciation, right? So that is why. Question number four, what is the pronunciation difference in tout and vowed for the letter OD, right? Now, if you talk about uh, tout, we find out here tout is called as, yeah, tout, right? Uh, tout sound. And for the word, wow, wow is generally known as a out sound, right? So that is what you would find out the difference. Yeah. So tout and wout for the letters OWED, you find out that tout is out and wow for the letters OWED. Now look at the five number question. So what does it say? How does understanding the phonetic system improve language skills? Now, generally, the phonetic system um, helps learners identify the correct place, and you can say that manner, manner, manner of what? Manner of articulation, place of articulation for sounds, right? Coming to the question number six, explain the role of practice in accent training. So, generally, if you talk about that, continuous practice ensures learners internalize the phonetic system, correct errors, and develop a globally comprehensible accent. Isn't it? Fine. Let's come to the some more questions, or we'll also discuss some of the basic facts about English sounds. So when you talk about basic facts about English sounds, we can say that in English language, we have 26 alphabetical letters, A to Z, and out of them, consonants are 21 and 5 vowel sounds. But when you talk about sounds in the English language, we find out 44 sounds are there, and out of that, consonant sounds are 24 and vowel sounds are 20, isn't it? So that's what you would find out. Even vowel sounds also divided into um, vowels and diphthongs, right? So that's what you would find out. Mm, let's look some more information. Okay. Now you can find out that breakdown of English sounds. Um, when we talk about breakdown of English sounds, we know that there are 24 consonant sounds, and these involve significant obstruction of airflow. So you find out the examples which have been given here. When we say that pen, we find out p is the sound. And when we talk about bat, we can find out b, b, b. And tap is called as a t. Duck is called as a d. And cat, k. And go is generally called as a go, g, as in go. And fish is called as a fur, mm, fur. Then van is a ver, ver. And think is called as a th, think is called as a, um, th. Th will be the symbol of th is like this. Then we'll also find out this, the, th, the. The is indicating as like this, the. So pen, bat, tap, duck, cat, go, fish, ban, think, this, right? The, right? Now, similar to that, we have also some more 14, uh, where we will find out the first one is called as a sit, where you will find out sir, then zoo, which is called as a z, then shoe, that's called as a sh, then measure, measure is generally called as a mm, z, measure, then hat is called as a her, then you will find out man, mer, nose, mer, then sing, ing, so this becomes, um, okay, just a minute, sound, right? Mm, light is called as a l sound, l, and red is a r, and yes, yes is generally known as a j, which is called as a y, y. So wait, wait is a w sound, w sound, and next stage a chair, ch, ch is having with the t and sh, chair, and the judge, which is called as a d and z, right? So we can say that d and d and z sound, right? So these are the consonant sounds. Um, so that is what you would find out. Let's go to the mm, discussion of some vowel sounds. So we know that when we talk about vowel sounds, we find out that these involve free airflow and they are divided into pure vowels, which is called as a monotones, and there are 12 monotones. Like examples are given, E as in C, uh, E as a sit, and uh, a, that's called as a cat, and which is called as a cup, right? So similar to that, there are eight diphthongs. We talk about diphthongs is double vowel, AI as in I. So A, that's called as a day, and OI, that's called as boy, right? So that's what is the diphthong sounds. Mm, So the key features of this particular vowel sounds that mm, they involve free airflow and they are in pure vowels and diphthongs. Okay. So the key features of International Phonetic Alphabet provides one-to-one correspondence between sounds and symbols, and it standardizes pronunciation across language. Okay, so fine, we'll go for some of the questions and some 2 marks questions also. So the first question is called as a how many letters are there in the English alphabet? We know that that's called as a 26. How many consonants are there in English alphabet? That's called as a 21. And how many vowel letters are there in the English alphabet? 5. And how many total sounds are there in the English language? 44. How many consonant sounds are there in English? We can say that 24. And how many vowel sounds are there in English? 20. What does IPA stands for? International Phonetic Alphabet. International Phonetic Alphabet. And when was the IPA first published? We know that 1888, right? So fine. If you understood these 1 mark questions, similar to that, some 2 marks questions which we can get here. What is the primary purpose of the International Phonetic Alphabet? We know that the IPA provides a standardized system to represent the pronunciation of words in any language through symbols and making sure one-to-one correspondence between sounds and symbols. Second is to differentiate between phonetic and non-phonetic. I think these are the things which we have already discussed. We know that phonetic is called as pronounced as they are written, Hindi or Spanish. Non-phonetic is English and French. Um, Question number 3, list 3 example of consonant sounds and their corresponding words. Like we can say p as pen, b as bat, and t as tap, right? 3 example of consonant sounds. Then what is the difference between monothems and diphthongs? Provide 1 example of each. We can say monothems. If I say monothems, we can say mm, monothems are pure vowel sounds. Like you can say it is E as in C, right? And diphthongs, we can say that, okay, A and I as I, A, right? So that's what you would find out, monothems and diphthongs. Question number 5, what is the importance of understanding consonant and vowel sounds in learning English pronunciation? What is the importance of understanding consonant and vowel sounds in learning English pronunciation? Now, understanding consonant and vowel sounds help in what? You can say accurate pronunciation, reduces MTI problem, and improves communication skills in English, right? Now, 6, explain the role of syllable stress and intonation in spoken English. Syllable stress and intonation affect the, you can say, rhythm and the meaning of speech in English, and that supports in comprehension and effective communication, isn't it? Okay, coming to the next, some activities that we will follow also. Yes. Now, here it is given, match the sound, match the IPS symbols with their corresponding example words. Provide a list of IPS symbols and a list of words. Ask students to match the sounds to the correct word. Now, the example is given per, pen, chair, chair, and you can say that I, right? So that can be called as a, means matching the IPS symbol. These are IPS symbols and these are the example words, right? Coming to the next. Identify the sounds. Similar to that, identify the sound in a word. Instruction, write a list of words with highlighted letters and ask student to identify the corresponding IPS sounds like kick, k, kick, kick. So shame, sh, then think, th, right? So in that case, you find out that the letter under which, or the letters under which I pointed the underline will present nothing but the sound, kick, shame, and think, right? Mm, So, yeah. Phonetic transcription. if we can see that when we talk about phonetic transcription, we can see that how the English word is transcribed in a phonetic forms. So transcribe words into their IPA symbols, provide students with a set of words and ask them to write the IPA transcription. So example, you can find out kite, cat, right? Cat. So phone, 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 then laugh, laugh, right? So in that case, these are nothing but the uh, means of phonetic transcript of the English language. Well, moving to the some more pronunciation practice. What does it say? The objective is practice correct pronunciation of common problematic sounds. So instruction is given focus on minimal pairs where a single sound changes the meaning of the word. Let's say that ship, ship, isn't it? Sure, IP, right? Versus sheep, sheep, isn't it? Bat. So you would find out and pet. So here you would find out what is that? Here, sure and sure, which is nothing but the same. But at the same time, IE, ship, and here you are saying sheep, right? So the um, changes you would find out E and E. Similar to that, here also you would find out that called as a burr and a per, right? Burr and per. That is the changes you here you would find out. Okay. Now, stress and intonation exercise, in which we also understand that learn the impact of stress and intonation on meaning. So instruction provides sentences and asks students to identify the stressed syllable. Now here you would find out record. If it is a noun, so obviously the stress on means record, record, right? Record. So if it is a verb, then we say that record, right? So similar to that present, if it is a noun, then we say that present, right? But if it is a verb, it should be present, right? Um, let's move for some more. Okay. Phonetic word hunt. Let's see that what it is. Objective is identify words with the specific sounds. The instruction here provide a sound example sure, sir, and ask student to find words containing it in a text or a list, right? So you need to point out that in a couple of words. Okay, now see that here it is given a brief description or explanation. Let's say that. So consonant sounds. We know that English has 24 consonant sounds, including plosives that called as a p, p, t, d, k, g. So including plosives, fricative is called as a f and v, and affricates are called as a ch and j, ch and j. So, and we find out the example, the ch sound in chair is an affricate. So combining a stop and a fricative, isn't it? So in that case, that is what called as a consonant sounds. Vowel sound, English has 20 vowel sounds, categorized as monotongues. Monotongues is known as a single pure sounds like E, C, and diphthongs, combination of two sounds like A, I. So in that case, we find out consonant 24, vowels 20, and 20 even segregated into um, monothones and diphthongs. Third is called as a syllable stress. We know that in English, stress can change the meaning of words. Example, present, gift, noun. versus present to show verb, isn't it? So primary stress is marked in IPA with a high vertical line before the stressed syllable. You can say that present, right? Present. Okay. So at the same time, we also identify the importance of intonation. We can say intonation is the rise and fall of pitch in speech, like rising intonation. Are you coming? Are you coming? And falling intonation. I'm coming. I'm coming. Right? So in that case, we find out the importance of intonation. So let's look at the worksheet number one. Worksheet one that match the IP symbol with the word. Instructed instructions is what? Draw a line to match the IP symbol to the correct word. So the IP symbols are given here and the word is given. So we need to match it. Uh, we can see that cat, we can say CAT. Then this one will be sure, ship. This would be ship. And this one will be chair. So this could be chair. And this one, intention, intention, intention. So this one, and this one is hand, isn't it? That is the uh, means IP symbol to the correct word. Let's move to the some more here. What do we find out? Here we find out the worksheet 2, where we have been asked that what to go for the phonetic transcription practice instruction, write the IPA transcription for the given words. Mm, well, the words like which is given duck, we can say in a British English, we can say mm, duck, right? Then it is called as a phone. We can say that for phone, right? So laugh or laugh, you can say that la and mm, love. Then school, we can write the transcription is called as a school, school, right? Then dream becomes, you can say mm, D, then dream, dream. Okay. Now, the next one is called as worksheet 3. What does it ask to do us? Mm, It's stated that circle the word you hear when pronounced. Okay, this is again a kind of obviously, if we talk about um, circle, then we can find out E and EA bit, right? So I sound is found, then ship and again E and E, so short I sound. Um, Short I sound. Then fan and van, we can say that start with the fur sound. Fur. Then ten and tin, we can say that tin, e sound. Uh, I. Then pack and back, burr sound, burr sound, isn't it? Uh, that's what you would find out. Next is called as a worksheet 4. Identify the stress. When we say that to record, so RE, right? First syllable. Then permit, we can say that second syllable. Then address, we talk about address in the second syllable again. Address, permit, then record, record, isn't it? Record, record, permit, address. Then we also say that first syllable present is a first syllable. We can say that PRE, present. Then after we talk about convict, right? First syllable, right? So the primary stress in the is called as the first re, then second mit, then um, that called as a second address, then you can say that present first syllable, then convict, isn't it? Okay. Coming to the next one, worksheet 5, find the words, instruction, identify and underline words with the following sounds in paragraph. The ship sailed smoothly through the calm sea and the captain watched the waves with interest. Now here we can find out ship as a sure. Then we can say that ship sailed smoothly through the calm. We can say that calm. Even captain also, calm and captain, we find out k sound. Watched the waves with interest. Okay, so here we also find out another one that called as a C, which is indicating as a E sound, E, right? So fine. These are the means worksheet that we have done. Now, coming to the next one. Interactive activity pronunciation relay. So this what we supposed to do. Objective practice pronouncing IPA transcription. So that we have done material flashcards with the IPA symbols and their corresponding words. Fine. Instruction divide students into teams. So on IPA symbol on a flashcard, the team must pronounce the word correctly to a score point. Okay. It's a kind of a game which it has been asked us to do that. Okay. Now look into it. Consonants which have been given here. You can say per, which is a voiceless bilabial plosives. Pat, b, b is a voiced bilabial plosives. Bilabial is called as a um, uh, bilabial means two lips which are connected to per, b, right? So voiced bilabial. So voiced and voiceless. Voiced means called as when the when there is a sound, and voiceless is called as when there is a excuse me. So when there is a means no sound, so you can say voiceless bilabial plosives, pat, and voiced bilabial plosives, bat, right? So t is a voiceless alveolar plosives. So d is a voiced alveolar plosives, and k is a voiceless velar plosives. G is a voiced velar plosives. Go. Per voiceless labiodental. So obviously labial lip and teeth. Then ver is voiced labiodental fricative. The is a voiceless dental fricative. Think voiced dental fricative. The then sir, z, sh, z, voiced palato alveolar fricative. Her, m, n, n, l, r, y, and w. And these are the vowels where we can say that e, e, and closed mid-front unrounded vowel. That's called uh, a, a, near front to open vowel. Then uh, you can also say that open, open back unrounded. Okay. What happened? Yeah. So let's come to discuss those of the thing. So like open back unrounded vowel. Then open back rounded vowel is called as a pot, and open mid back rounded vowel or saw. Then near close, near back rounded vowel. The next is called as a near close, near back rounded vowel, a book, then close back rounded vowel, two, then open mid unrounded vowel, cup, and square unstretched vowel, sopa, then open mid central unrounded vowel, bird, then bear, air, then air, then o, then a, then ow, then oi, then o, then ear, then a. So these are the kind of sounds that you can find out here, which are known as your consonants and vowels. Mm. Now, let's go for the diacritics. Now, when you talk about diacritics, what do you find out here? What do you mean by that? The word called as a diacritics. Mm, So, diacritics and why they are so important. Generally, if you talk about that, diacritics are small marks, right? Small marks that you can find out here. These are diacritics. And these means diacritics are small marks added to letters in written language to indicate a change in, you can say, pronunciation. They are commonly used in the international phonetic alphabet to provide detailed information about speech sound. Um, let's say that if I say the word called as a fur, that shows nothing but an aspirated sound, as in pin, right? But when you say that no, right, no, what do you find out? You find out it indicates a syllabic sound as in button, right? Button, button. And this one is called as a pin. So these tiny marks hold a lot of power in understanding and transcribing sounds accurately, isn't it? Now, let's say that if I talk about H, it is nothing but known as a aspirated sound, right? That adds nothing but a puff, right? Adds nothing but a puff of air to a consonant sound. Like you can say mm, in P, it is considered as a pat, right? Okay. Uh, so that shows that a consonant acts as a vowel in a syllable. So even for the nasalization, so you can say that nasalization, we can say it indicates that air flow through the notch. So example, you can say here it is given as a bon, right? So um, like in French also we say that sans, right or not? So which means without. Mm, Even you can also talk about this one, which is called as a lengthening, which is called as a C lengthening. C, so that represents nothing but a long vowel sounds. Long vowel sounds, right? Example in when we talk about, uh, sorry, uh, shape, right? We say sheep. Mm, Similar to that, when we talk about um, this one, which is called as a glottalization. Glottalization. So that shows nothing but a uh, glottal stop, like the break is, like you can say that the break is ooh, oh, ooh, oh. So similar to that, we can also talk about, yeah, we can talk about voiceless sound. When we talk about voiceless sound, we can say, so this is known as a voiceless sound, in which it indicates that a normal voiced sound is voiceless. So let's say that if I talk about b, so in under that we put this. So in whispered boy, you can say that in whispered boy. Similar to that, we also have a dental. Dental is generally known as a, mm, you can say, that indicates a sound produced with, the tongue against the teeth. Example, like you can say, the, the, so, the, like you can say, wit, 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 isn't it? So that's what you would find out. The thing is that when we talk about importance of diacritics, generally diacritics helps us, what, um, clarity in pronunciation. Clarity in pronunciation. They help linguists and language learners pronounce words more accurately. And second is called as a cross-linguistic understanding. Many languages use diacritics to capture unique sounds, for instance, French, Spanish, and German. And diacritics also detailed transcription. They help phoneticians describe speech sounds in details. For example, the word, um, when you say fin, right, fin. So the diacritics helps to distinguish it from spin. Distinguish from spin, isn't it? So, where the per is unaspirated. Okay, let's look at some important questions also pertain to that. Um, yes, just a minute. Okay, before we go to the questions, let's look at some of the means um, common English diphthongs. Okay. So what we can find out here, generally, if you talk about that diphthongs, which are um, complex vowel sounds um, that involve a glide from one vowel sound to another within the same syllable, they are often used in English and they can be divided into two types. What are they? One is called as a closing diphthongs and centering diphthongs. So common English diphthongs like closing diphthongs, the tongue moves towards a more closed position, like when you say I in my, and I in time, and I in high. So that starts with an open front vowel sound like A and glides to a near closed front vowel sound like E, right? So I. So AI, my, time, hi. So similar to that ow in how, now, and out, out, out. We say no, now, how, so out. So it starts with an open front vowel sound like ah and glides to a near close back vowel sound like oo, right? Out. So similar to that oi as in boy, toy, and coin. So starts with an open mid-back grounded vowel sounds like and glides to a near close front unrounded vowel sound like e. Next one is called as go in British English, as in go, home, stone. Starts with the mid-central vowel sounds like um, o and glides to a near close back rounded vowel sounds like oo. In American English, the sounds is usually o. So a, that in day, say, cake, that starts with a closed mid-front unrounded vowel sounds like e and glides to a near close front unrounded vowel sound like a. Right. So these are the common English diphthongs. Okay. So let's move to the next one that's called as centering diphthongs. Okay. So when we talk about centering diphthongs, here you find out the tongue moves towards a central position, isn't it? Like in the first one, you will find out a or sorry, ear, like you can say near, fear, here, right? Starts with a near close front unrounded vowel sounds like e and glides to a central vowel sounds like so near, then similar to that, a, air, a, air, care, share. So in that case, starts with a closed mid-front unrounded vowel sound like a, and glides to a central vowel sounds like air. So similar to that, o, o. So as in tour, for, sure, right? Tour, pour, tour, pour, and sure in British English. So starts with a near um, close back rounded vowel sounds like oo and glides to a central vowel sounds like oor, tour, poor, sure, right? Tour, poor, and sure. So the key points about diphthongs are always represented by two symbols, like you find out above in the IPA. They occur in stressed syllables and are typically not found in unstressed syllables unless as part of a larger vowel cluster. The exact pronunciation of diphthongs can vary slightly based on accent and dialect. Okay, hope you understood all such kind of a things. Now, moving to some questions given here. So, as far as our discussion, so we can find out the first question is called as how many sounds constitute the IPA? Okay, we can say that how many sounds constitute the IPA? So we know that 44. How many plosive sounds are there in the IPA? We can say six. What are bilabial consonants? Uh, Bilabial consonants are called as both lips, bilabial, both lips. So that's what you can say, both lips. So name two labiodental consonants. We can say that ver and sorry, fur and ver, right? Fur and ver. Which sound is classified as a palatal consonants? You can say year, mm, year. So what are the two aspects of articulation? Um, we can say that place and manner. So how are aspirated plosives articulated? You can say that a puff of air, right? Mm, So puff of air, puff of air, right? So next one is called as what are glottal consonants? So when we say that glottal consonant sounds were produced when the back of the tongue touches the volume, right? Sounds produced, glottal consonants, no? So sounds produced when the back of the tongue touches the velum, right? Right. Okay. So next is called as name one aspirated plosive sounds. You can say that per. Then which articulators are involved in dental consonants? So we can say that tongue, and teeth. Tongue and teeth. Right. That called as a dental consonants. Which articulators are involved in dental consonants? The tongue and teeth. Okay. Let's go for some 2 marks question. Okay. Now, look into that. The first question it asks, what is the difference between aspirated and non-aspirated plosives? We can say that aspirated plosives involve what? Puff, a puff, right? So puff of air during articulation, while non-aspirated plosives do not release a puff of air, right? Simple, right? So presence of puff and absence of puff, right? Now, second one, explain the term place of articulation with an example. Well, if I talk about that place of articulation, refers to the location, location in the vocal tract where a sound is produced. For example, you can say uh, bilabial sounds, bilabial sounds, bilabial means two lips, bilabial sounds per, right? And bilabial sounds b, b are produced using both lips, isn't it? Uh, third, question number third, which is stated, list the six plosive sounds. Oh my goodness. And categorize them as aspirated or non-aspirated. Okay, so you can say that per, the, k, right? So, so we can say that per, then after the, then after per, k, right? Then non-aspirated, which you can say that badaga, we can say ba, da, and g. Right. These are the examples. Fine. Coming to the next one, it is asking us describe alveolar consonants and name two examples. So it is stated, describe alveolar consonants and name two examples. So when we talk about alveolar consonants are sounds produced when the, you can say that tip of the tongue touches the tip of the tongue touches alveolar ridge. Example, like you can say when you say sir, when you say the, right? And you can say that these two example can be fine. So these are the kind of alveolar consonants, right? Then the next question is called as what are the roles of articulators in the production of consonant sounds? Um, when we say that roles of articulates in the production of consonant sounds, articulators, you can say lips is then articulators, tongue, right, and teeth to help produce various sounds by modifying airflow in the vocal tract, isn't it? So that's what the roles of articulator in the production of consonant sounds. So they generally modify airflow in the vocal tract. So next one is called as a define fricatives and provide two examples of fricative sounds. When we say that fricatives, Fricatives are sounds produced by forcing air through a narrow opening, causing friction. Like you can say when you say S or F, right? So that's called as examples. Now, question number 7, differentiate between bilabial and labiodental consonants with examples. When we say that bilabial consonants, they are produced with, you can say that both lips, like you can find out p, then b, b. Labiodental consonants are generally, you can say that, are produced with the upper teeth and the lower lip, like you can say b and p. Right. So that is what you would find out. Next is called as explain the term manner of articulation with reference to plosives. Manner of articulation refers to how a sound is produced. That is what manner of articulation. For plosives, the air is blocked and then released suddenly, creating nothing but a boom or explosive sounds. Explosive sounds. Right. Fine. Question number 9. List the dental consonants and describe how they are produced. List the dental consonants and describe how they are produced. So when we talk about dental consonants, we find out the, then the, then you can say that the, and we also find out the, right? The. So they are produced when the tip of the tongue touches the teeth. Tip of the tongue touches the teeth. Okay, question number 10. Why is it important for faculty to understand the articulation system? Obviously, understanding the articulation system increases expertise and helps in teaching pronunciation effectively, isn't it? That's what we find out here. Hope you understood all this. Next, we'll go for the some one more question. Let's see that. Yes. Um, I hope means these are the multiple choice questions and help you a lot to understand uh, the the topic better. So you can do here if you want to test yourself. So pause the video and try to guess the answer on your own. So and then you can watch the answer also or listen to the answer. Fine. Let's look at the first question. Which of the following words contains the aspirated plosive sound p? Right. Is it leopard, gallop, punctual, or all of the above? What do you think? Leopard, which of the following words contain the aspirated plosive sound? P. Leopard, gallop, punctual. Well, yes, all of the above. So, second question, which aspirated plosive sound is present in the word teeth? Which aspirated plosive sound is present in the word teeth? So, whether it's a p, t, k, b, obviously teeth. So, we can go with the t. T is there. So, p, k, b cannot be found. So, third, which of the following words contains the aspirated plosive sound k? Ballistic, ballistic, okay, k. Trickle, k. Christmas, k. Christmas or Christmas, k sound, right? So ballistic, trickle, Christmas. So all of the above, yes. Okay. Um, let's move to the some more question. Okay. Coming to the next one. The next one is called as identify the non-aspirated plosive sounds in bubbles. Identify the non-aspirated plosive sounds in bubbles like p, b, t, k. It is called as bubbles. So obviously b, right? Next is called as which non-aspirated plosive sound is found in dance? Obviously the, right? So the word lug contains which non-aspirated plosive sound? The word lug. Lug contains which non-aspirated plosive sounds? Okay. Lug. B, g, t, p. Okay. G. Isn't it? Lug. Lug. G sound is there. Okay. Now coming to the next one. So which word contains the fricative sound for? Um, fricative sound for. Okay, plaintive, then stifling, then fish. All of the above. Yes, it is correct. The fricative sound ver can be found in which of the following words? Believe, believe, believe. Okay, ver. Victorious, ver. Frivolous. Okay, all of the above. So which word contains the dental fricative sound th, 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 or you can say that the. So aftermath, the Catholic, yes, thermometer, all of them. So next is called as yes, the sound the. The is present in which word? You can say that. Can we say the, feather, thereafter, breathe? So all of the above. Which word contains the alveolar fricative sound, sir? So we can say meticulous, then synchronize, then pastry. All of the above, yes. Next, we can say the sound ch. Um, ch. Ch is present in which of the word? Like you can say challenge, stretchable, and stunch. All of the above. Okay. Which nasal sound is present in notorious? Nasal sound. Okay. So we can say that n, but at the same time, n, no, nasal sound is present in notorious. Okay. Yeah, notorious. So now, which semi-vowel sound is found in youngster? Right. We can say that yeah, youngster. So we'll go for the C, yeah. The lateral consonant sound L is present in which of the following words? L. So L sound. Choral, yes, we are there. Liportion, yes, it is there. Palasi, yes, all of them. Fine. Mm, let's go for the some more, means one more question to understand that better. Okay. Which aspirated plosive sound is present in word button? Okay, let's we have done that, I think. Identify the aspirated plosive sound in ballistic. We can say that k, ballistic. Mm, then the word grandeur contains which non-aspirated plosive sound? It should be d. Yes. Next one. Which non-aspirated plosive sound? Mujibu? Mugaj. না, ১০টা ২২ই ছিল।